¿Cómo se siente usted siendo el pintor más famoso del mundo?
Es que no sé si soy el pintor más famoso del mundo, porque hay mucha gente que me pidan por la calle autógrafos y realmente no saben si soy un cantante, un actor de cine, un loco, un escritor, no se sabe bien lo que soy.
Bonjour. Good morning. Is for the first time Dali born with any kind of traumatism. Little blood, symbolic blood. And milk again, milk from today born, and some symbolic fish of Mediterranean.
¿Usted qué le ha aportado usted al arte en general?
Al arte absolutamente nada.
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 ¿Y a la vida?
Porque, no, porque lo digo siempre, soy muy mal pintor por la razón de que soy demasiado inteligente para ser buen pintor. Para ser buen pintor hay que ser un poco burro.
¿Y a la vida?
A menos Velázquez, que es un genio que...
Salvador Dali was a Spanish artist born on May 11, 1904 in Figueres, Spain. Dali was alive and well during the Spanish Civil War and World War II. Dali was involved in the Surrealist movement with other artists such as Pablo Picasso, René Magritte, and Joan Miró. Even though Dali was expelled from the Surrealist movement in 1934 due to his political beliefs, his work reflected Surrealism. Surrealism is artwork that is inspired by the subconscious mind. They could appear to be dreamlike or maybe even abstracted. Surreal art is definitely unconventional, as is anamorphosis. Anamorphosis is an image that seems almost distorted, but when looked at from a particular angle, the true image could be seen. Dali grew up with a Catholic mother and atheist father. Dali considered himself a Catholic without faith. Dali was not involved in politics as his father was, but he was fascinated by Hitler. He actually made a few paintings in regards to Hitler. Dali moved back and forth from Spain and the United States. In 1943, Dali was living in New York during World War II, and he created Geopoliticus Child Watching the Birth of the New Man. Geopoliticus Child is an oil-on-canvas painting Dali created in 1943. The dimensions are 12.5 inches by 18 inches. It is currently located in the Dali Museum in St. Petersburg, Florida. On the left side of the painting, we have mountains and two people in the distance. The two people are from Raphael's painting that I will be discussing later. On the right side, we see more mountains in the background and a figure pointing upwards. We also see a parental figure pointing at the globe with a small child looking at the man hatching from the egg. The shadow casted by the young child is much longer than that of the adult. Some formal aspects Dali used in his work are space, line, texture, shape, scale, color, emphasis, and proportion. The painting has an atmospheric perspective. There is also some negative space surrounding the egg. We can see plenty of implied lines in the painting, such as the gaze of the child, the direction the parent is pointing, and the direction the man's big toe is pointing at as well. We can also see a simulated texture on the bodies of the people painted. The rib cage seems to stand out, as well as the muscles on the bodies. There is also a dripping effect with the continents on the globe and the blood that's seeping through the globe. Dali mostly painted organic shapes. The shapes of the egg and the mountains are all organic, as well as the sky and the human bodies. Dali also uses scale in his painting. He makes the egg a lot larger than everything else in the painting, giving it the most importance. He also makes the shadow of the child a lot longer than that of the parent, as I mentioned before, perhaps alluding to the fact that the child would be most affected by the new world. He also makes everything else in the background a lot smaller, such as the people on the left side and that little person on the right. Salvador Dali mostly uses local colors in his painting. He really draws emphasis on the egg, with the bright blood leaking through the crack. During World War II, Dali noticed how America was growing and becoming a powerhouse. America brought plenty of changes during the Second World War. Iconography definitely plays a role in this painting. The man clearly represents America in Dali's eyes. The parental figure and child could symbolize the old world, or world before World War II. The other continents seem to be falling off the earth, which could represent the influence America had on other countries during that time. The two figures in the background are from Raphael's painting called The Marriage of the Virgin, which may represent the rise or the already present Catholicism in the United States. Geopoliticus' child watching the birth of the new man is a portrayal of the birth of a new world after World War II, with an emphasis on America and its importance and influence on all the other continents. This possibly came from Dali's unconscious mind and was perhaps a prediction or a dream, since surrealism does revolve around dreams and the unconscious mind. Here is my personal artwork. I titled it The End. I was inspired by Salvador Dali to make this. I wanted to draw about a current situation as he did in 1943. In 2018, I feel like we are heavily dependent on technology, and it has affected us in a both positive and negative way. Here, I emphasize on the negative. Clearly, I'm not a great artist, but I hope I did get my point across. I drew a person whose gender is anonymous because the person could be any one of us, at any age, any gender. Instead of eyes, I drew a TV, because I feel like our eyes are always glued to a screen. It could be a phone screen, a computer screen, or a tablet screen. And instead of ears, I drew antennas that are also like horns, because I feel as if technology is evil in a way. And instead of the mouth, I covered it up with the saying, the end of us. It's double entendre, as it could be read as the end of us or the end of US, meaning the United States. I wanted to incorporate the United States, as did Dali in his painting. I do feel like technology could be the end of us. However, it could also be a great beginning for others, and it could lead to more opportunities.
Yes, my English remain very, very problematic, but this is not so important, because si somebody catch only a little piece of my ideas, this is absolutely sufficient, because Dalinian ideas possess one tremendous power of germination.
Well, I quite see that. And